Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 81 of Serendipity, and this one's titled Hail Queen Yin. The reporters exploded with questions as you fell silent. Mrs. Midoriya, are you an advocate for women's rights? How long have you been feeling depressed for? Are you having a boy or a girl? Are you taking over the agency? Most of these questions that they asked were unrelated to anything, so you just ignored them and smiled instead, taking Deku's hand in yours, then placing your other hand on your little belly. Deku thanked them all for coming. Then the two of you left the stage to the yells and cries from the reporters, begging for answers to their questions. Well, you said to your man as you walked out the back, I don't know if that fixed anything, but it was just nice to be able to say my part and be heard. Deku smiled down at you and squeezed your hand, that was still in his. And we have the interview with Heroes Daily, so we'll be able to talk more freely at that appointment as well, he said. It was interview time before you knew it, and you and Deku arrived at the building to get your hair and makeup done before going on set. Mrs. Midoriya, a word if I may, the chief editor, that you had had a falling out with, asked politely upon your arrival. You nodded and followed him away, while Deku was taken to the hair and makeup section. Please, allow me to apologise, the editor said, bowing his head. No, please, you said softly. I need to explain myself. He nodded, so you continued. That morning, I had unfortunately heard some unkind things said about Deku and myself on the TV, and so was in a not-so-pleasant mood to begin with, and then the copious amounts of missed calls and messages from you just tipped me over the edge. I'm sorry. No, please, I understand where you're coming from, the editor said. I don't like having to call and leave so many messages, but my head is on the chopping block if I don't get a call back. It's an unfortunate part of the job, but thanks to you and Hero Deku agreeing to the exclusive, my ass has been saved. You smiled sympathetically. I'm sorry they have you doing things that make you uncomfortable. He sighed. Unfortunately, but I do love my job. I guess I can't have everything, good pay, good work and good conditions, and no stress. You chuckled. I get it. You and he shared a happy smile together, and he gestured towards where Deku had been taken for hair and makeup. Come on, I'll take you in to get ready, he said kindly. Thank you, I appreciate you pulling me aside to have a talk, you said as you walked beside him. I'll understand where you're coming from now on when you call. And I'll be mindful to not leave 10 messages, he said with a small chuckle. I'll just reply the one message, you said with a grin, as the two of you entered the room. Deku looked up and saw you smiling with the editor and relaxed. Not that he hadn't been relaxed before, but seeing you smiling made his heart happy. Everything okay? He whispered to you as you sat down in the seat beside him. Yes, you said with a smile. Everything's okay now. I'm glad, he said with a grin. The two of you got yourselves fixed up, and then you were called onto the set where the interview would take place. My favourite hero couple, the interviewer greeted you. You smiled and he stepped forward to greet you both. Now, let's have a chat about your baby. I'm so excited for this hero baby. It's going to be the cutest little bundle around, he said excitedly. You placed a hand on your little belly and smiled happily. I sure hope it's going to be cute. I'm sure it will be, with Izuku as its daddy. You smiled up at your man as he chatted to the interviewer, and then you reached for his hand and held it lovingly in yours. You were led on stage and the interview began, with the man conducting the show asking many questions. It was quite a nice interview really, and all of your previous annoyances melted away as you got excited about the arrival of your little one with Deku, sharing many looks between the two of you, and ending with your curly-haired heartthrob leaning across and rubbing his nose to yours. You were so loved up and on a high as you left the building with Deku later that day. That was so nice. I'm glad we did that interview, you said to him. He smiled in return. I'm really happy that everything worked out. Thank you for pushing me to make a stand. If it weren't for you, I'd have left it, but I think we did the right thing. You agreed. The next morning the TV clicked on as usual, and you went to change the channels when the lady on the TV said something that caught your attention. And they looked so in love, she gushed. I'm sorry I ever doubted them. You paused when you saw the picture of you and Deku on screen, smiling at each other, a screenshot from the interview with Heroes Daily yesterday. After listening for a while, it appeared that your and Deku's speeches from 2 days ago and the interview yesterday had made a real impact on society, and a lot of other heroes were stepping forward with false stories and hurtful rumours that had been said about them too, and making statements to clear them. You made your hot chocolate and sat down to listen, eyes brimming with happy tears, when so many people came forward and praised your bravery at standing up against the injustice. She's so strong, one lady on the panel said. She has my whole respect. She is a hard-working woman who stands by her man, and on top of all the BS that's been said about her, she's pregnant. I'd like to see the people out there who've been slandering her walk a mile in her shoes. The others on the panel agreed. Oh, and the interview yesterday has gone viral on the internet, with world-renowned body language experts observing the body language between her and Deku, and they've said all, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that the pair are deeply in love. I was a fan of theirs before, one woman on the end of the table said, but after seeing how they conducted themselves in the face of all these rumours, they have my ultimate respect. Just then Deku walked out and saw the TV on with you watching it, and was about to say turn it off, but then he heard what was being said, and he stopped. And there ends chapter 81. Stay tuned for chapter 82.